Hi guys, hope you are having a great time. Today I want to talk about English preposition. So I'm sure you know a lot about English preposition. Can you give me some examples of prepositions in English? Very good. Like at, on, of, for, in, exactly, from, and whatsoever. Before we start our journey, please subscribe my channel, like my video, and also comment your opinion about preposition. So, why preposition? So let's see, we use prepositions in English a lot. Sometimes with verbs, sometimes with nouns. Because these small but mighty words are essential. They connect ideas and create meaning in our everyday communication. So, let us start studying together. The first part, verb plus prepositions and noun plus preposition. So, as a person who doesn't know anything about preposition, I should mention that it doesn't have a really special context. So you cannot say that we use preposition just for verbs or nouns or adverbs, yeah? They have a variety of use, so it's really important to know how and when we use them and what do we mean by using them. Do they change the meaning, the time, the tense, or whatsoever? So the first part is about verb plus preposition. So, here, look, the specific verbs require specific prepositions. So, some verbs have special preposition. Look at example, listen to music, depend on your friends, wait for the bus, look at the picture. So, what you can see here is some verbs with their specific preposition. So we also call them collocation in English. If you like, you can watch my other video about the collocation and how we form them. So here we have verb plus preposition, and we should memorize each verb with its preposition. For example, interested in, listen to, depend on. And sometimes some verbs can have more than one preposition. Example, imagine the verb agree. There is a verb in English called agree. So you can use agree with the preposition with, and also agree on or agree about something, agree to do something. So sometimes some verb can have more than one preposition with, of course, different meanings. So look at the next part, noun plus preposition. Certain nouns pair with a specific preposition. Like the previous part, here we have some specific noun with specific prepositions. Look at the examples. An interest in history. Interest in. A reason for the delay. A reason for. An increase in prices. A solution to the problem. So look, we have in, for, to, different prepositions after different nouns. How we should know them? One point is to memorize them, and also another point that can help you to know which preposition to use is to read in English, listen to English, watch in English, and finally keep in touch with English. So remember that these combinations of them need to be memorized rather than following logical patterns. So There is no logical pattern or rule for this. Regular practice with a common combination will help you develop an intuitive feel for which preposition to use with specific verbs and nouns. Great. Now, some of the most famous and useful and common prepositions are on, in, and at, especially when it comes to time. So, this is an example of three prepositions that we are going to talk about, which is about time. So, we use at, on, and in to talk about time. Do you know what are the differences? So if you don't know, don't worry. Now we are going to talk about it. Look at the first one. We use at for specific times. Look at examples at 7, at noon, at midnight, and at night. So when you have the time, for example, at 7, at 8, at 9, in this situation, we use at. And also, when it's about noon, midnight, and night, we use at. Okay, be careful. For morning or afternoon, we don't use at. Okay, now the next one. When should we use on here? Used for days and dates. So, can you remember the days of the weeks? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, we say on Monday, on Sunday, on Tuesday. So, the first one is to use it with the days of the week or on weekends, on weekdays. So, also for the weekends, we use on. Great. Look at the next one. Look at here. On July 4th. So, when you want to talk about the date is really important. When you want to talk about the date, you use on. You have the month and the day. On July 4th. And the next one, some events, yes, on my birthday. So, in these situations, we use the preposition on in English. Now look at the next one, in. When should we use in? In used for longer periods. Look at the first one, when we want to talk about month. In July, in January, in February, yeah? The next one, when we want to tell the year. In 2024, in 2020, in 1996, yeah? And look at the next one, in the summer, or in the 21st century. So as you can see, it's a really longer period of time. And also, we use in when we want to say in the morning or afternoon or evening, we use in. But for night or midnight, we use at. These are the main differences, and of course, really important when it comes to writing or speaking in English. Another point which I want you to make sure that you've learned it correctly is this one and this one. When it's just month, we use preposition in July, in August, in January. But when it's month with day, it's a date. Yeah? In this situation, you use the preposition on. Okay? So in is just for month. When we have month and day together, the correct preposition is on. Great. Now look at here. Time prepositions follow logical patterns that make them easier to learn than other preposition types. Think of them as moving from specific time points at to medium time frames on to longer periods in. Regular practice with real-life examples will help cement these patterns in your mind. So the best way to memorize them, to learn them, is to listen or read or watch the prepositions and be in touch with English. Now, the next part, adjectives plus prepositions and prepositional phrases. So, as you can remember, in the first slide, we talked about verb plus prepositions and noun. Now, it's time to talk about adjectives. Adjective plus preposition. So, certain adjectives are followed by specific prepositions. Look at here. Afraid of spiders. Good at something. Good at language. Good at English. Interested in science. Sorry for the mistake. Different from others. So as you can see here, we have adjectives like afraid, good, interested, sorry, or different. And each of them, we have some specific prepositions. Now, look at this part. Prepositional phrases. Groups of words starting with a preposition that function as a unit. So, what's a prepositional phrase? It's a group of words, 1. They start with a preposition, 2. And they function as a unit. So, if it's adjective, they are all adjective or noun, yeah? They have just one name in a sentence, subject, object, adverb. It depends. Look at examples. In the morning is about time. It's a prepositional phrase that starts with the preposition. At the table, it's about the location, yes? It starts with preposition. By the window, by the preposition. Under the circumstances, under. Despite the rain, despite. So, in here we also have prepositional phrases. So, look at this part. Prepositional phrases add richness to your language by providing additional details about time, place, manner, or other relationships. They function like building blocks that can be added to sentences to make your meaning more precise and your language more sophisticated. So you can use prepositional phrases if you want to just seem more fluent or professional in English. They're not difficult, but a bit challenging. This was all about this video talking about prepositions and prepositional phrases. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos and let's learn English together.